core strengthening progression. So in a previous video, which I hope you watched, we discussed TVA, transversus abdominis activation, TVA activation, and it's its own exercise. I taught how to activate the core in sitting, and then how to practice core activation, TVA activation lying down with the knees bent up. And now in the next how-to video, soon coming, we're going to do TVA, again, real brief, and then TVA with lifting one leg up and alternating right leg lift, left leg lift, right leg lift, left leg lift. Then we're going to do a double leg lift to eventually a double leg lift with maybe a little bit of reaching or similar to an air bicycle. The key, the thing I want to discuss now before I'm lying down and trying to do all that, is to tell you that your job is to maintain a neutral spine during core advanced strengthening, which means if you're lying down, you're not allowed to flatten your back. And more importantly and more challenging is you're not allowed to arch your spine. When you add the weight of the legs to core strengthening, your pelvis is going to want to tilt towards the legs. And this is when the job of TVA really comes on board, because remember, its job is to keep the torso, the rib cage, completely aligned over the pelvis and to stabilize those lumbar vertebrae. So we don't want the pelvis to move, and we don't want the lumbar spine to move. We don't want it to arch. Okay, so many people have been misinformed and misinstructed both by personal trainers and physical therapists and Pilates instructors even, not as much, but I've seen it. And they're told to flatten their back and then do these same exercises. And basically you're training your core to work in flexion then. And and not to be, it won't know where it is in space when you're upright and going to lift a box if you train it always in flexion. So we want to train it in neutral, which means not a flat back and not an arch back. And that being said, there are going to be some of you that are not strong enough to do these exercises. How will you know? Well, one, your back will definitely arch. And some will arch a little and some's going to arch a lot. So you're not ready if that's the case. And others of you may go, that kind of pinches, ow, that hurts my back. You're not ready. Okay, now let's say you've got TVA down and you can't even progress. This is the exception to the rule. This is when I would let you flatten your back and then do these exercises until you're able to maintain neutral and do them. So there is an exception. Sometimes I'll have you flatten your back if you really can't maintain neutral and yet you can't seem to progress to the next level. But your goal in general is to maintain that neutral, comfortable spine, because then we have to get really sexy and do standing core strengthening, core stability, where we're maintaining neutral spine during all of our standing exercises, or I should say most of them, okay? So we train lying down, safer, non-weight bearing, non-compression, and then eventually we'll move that when we progress to our standing exercises. Okay, let's do it.